last pack. Well, imagine if we get a secret rare here. That would be insane. Winning my first tourney and then off the 4 packs, get a secret rare. So let's take a look if we have this luck. Amazonas, YuGiOh, and oh my god, no way. No way. I know this card is worth a lot. Oh my god, what a crazy pull out of the OTS tourney. Holy crap.
Hey everyone, Tobias here. Welcome to the season finale for Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero to Hero Season 1. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of products to go through in this video. That's because this video is sponsored. So you can see I have one box of Darkwing Blast, sponsored by one of my viewers, Hero actually. So thank you very much, Hero. And 2 Darkwing Blast boxes from the store that I always order online for sealed products from. So that is chaoscards.co.uk, and they've kindly sent me 2 boxes of Darkwing Blast, one to open and one for prize support, and some card sleeves, orange and red, and they've sent me enough to double sleeve my card, so it's going to be super nice. Originally, I was going to have the 3rd Darkwing box as part of the prize support for giveaways or viewer battles. However, I checked the shipping cost as well as import tax. So if I were to host several viewer battles, feature battles, and tourneys, you actually lose out a lot of the values, not to mention the import tax you have to pay and the shipping cost I have to pay. So I decided to essentially just convert whatever value I get from pulling the 3rd box into money prize support for upcoming tournaments and viewer battles that I'll be hosting. So if I pull really well with the 3rd box, then it's more giveaways for the viewers and more wager for the tournaments as well as viewer battles. And as you can see, the sleeves are super nice. I've got the 2 the Japanese size, which is the one that fits the card, as well as the regular size, or I'm not sure what they call it, but essentially allows you to double sleeve, and I love double sleeving my extra deck. And for the main deck, it's really nice to have these cards as well. And of course, they also kindly sent a mat, play mat, chaoscards.co.uk, and this mat is very nice. Thank you so much, Chaos Cards, for sending that over. And you'll be able to use my discount code, which I'll link in the description, for 5% off of any purchase basically when you're checking out. And the shop delivers worldwide and mainly serves customers in the UK as well as EU. However, it does ship worldwide, so if you want, you can use my discount code. And stay tuned for the next part of the video. It will be openings plus a very special guest, so stay tuned. So I originally just wanted to upload the raw footage of the pulls. However, I realized that after all the footages have been added, it was over 30 minutes, and of course I don't think you guys want to sit through that because there's still a lot of content to go through. So the raw footage will be linked probably somewhere or shown in a really fast forward fashion, but I'm just going to quickly summarize what we've pulled. And these 3 cards are the main cards that I found really relevant in the tournament winnings. If you remember, I did win 2 OTS packs and 4 Darkwing Blasts at the pre-release tournament, coming in first. So let's take a look at what we got. So the first one was the Battle Ninja, so I did get an ultra rare. And the second one was the Branded Beast, which I'll add to my deck. So after pulling these 2, I was quite happy, but little did I know I was able to pull this off of the 4 tournament packs, the Fenrir. Oh my god, it is absolutely gorgeous. Let me just try to take it out for you guys to take a look. And stunning, absolutely stunning. Don't know how clear this appears to you guys, but it's a beautiful card. Yes, I was so happy. In the footage, I'm not sure if I was screaming, but it was a very good pull. And out of the 3 box, I'll go with the first one. So this is, I believe, the first box pulls. So we got Labyrinth of the Silver Castle as the secret rare, and actually I'll just go from this way. So Labyrinth of the Castle is the last one. The goatee stuff, a spell that's ultra rare, one of the black wings, and another goatee. And then for the secret rare, I got the Muckracker, and the one we talked about, the Lady Labyrinth. So it wasn't the best secret and ultras that I pulled in terms of what was going to upgrade my deck, but however, the later boxes killed it. It was crazy. So let's take a look at this box. And you might notice that there's actually 2 more piles, and I'll explain why later, okay? So for the second box, which was sponsored by YuGiOh, it was a cracked box. We start with the Albalos and the Battle Ninja again. And after those 2 ultra rares, I was like, oh, come on, repeats. And the fish, so I wasn't very happy at that point, but things got turned around, starting with the Spellbond. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the design. It's, I would say a weaker dimensional shifter, but who knows? It might have implications later on. And of course, after that, the Lubellion. What a pull. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the design and look at the shine. I'm going to play this in my deck for sure. My branded Despia deck. So it was a very good pickup and I love it. And of course, I've fit them right into the sleeve. Which was also provided to me by Chaos Cards. So thank you for sponsoring this. And after that, I pulled a Starlight. Oh my god, the Black Winged Dragon Starlight. So let's carefully take this out and let's take a look. Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this Starlight. I've never owned a Starlight copy of any card, so this looks so good. I didn't know YuGiOh came in this type of rarity, so a welcome surprise, and I'm glad that I picked the Starlight. I can't complain, even though it's not a Starlight that is, you know, a waifu, but I'm so happy I picked out a Starlight. So this box was cracked. So in the original part, I thought that I was gonna save the third box for giveaways. When you have viewer battles. However, what happened was I checked out the shipping cost if I were to ship packs to my viewers who are mostly based in the US, some in EU, because UK is no longer part of EU, and shipping internationally, I would have to pay custom tax. I mean, you would have to pay custom tax for receiving it, and I have to pay shipping. It was just not worth it. So I thought, you know, I'll pull this, and whatever value I get, I'll put it into maybe potentially a prize pool and host either a tournament or something like that, and viewer battles, and give that money back to the viewers. So I decided to pull that just because we will lose at least half in value if we were to go through shipping as well as custom. So this box was insane. So let's take a look. I've got the Blackwing Ultra, the Destructive Daruma Trap, the Blackwing, another copy, another Fenrir. This is crazy. I got 2 Fenrirs now. Woo! And those 2 cards, remember at the beginning I said, you know, I was going to play branded Despia as the beginning of my journey, and I really need a Lubellion and I really need a Cartesia. Well, we did pull the Lubellion already, right here, but another Lubellion in this deck. Wow. I'm going to definitely add that to my collection. But of course, this also means the value that I'm going to give in the viewer battles and the tournament wagers are going to be much higher for you guys, because, you know, this is expensive. And already having another Fenrir, value. And then the last card, would you know it, it is the Cartesia. I'm so happy I pulled this because it is a one-off. I'm hoping to run potentially multiples, but I definitely want at least 1 copy. It's part of the Albaz lore, and it's the evil Cartesia, and she looks so good. So I'm very happy that I pulled this. This was honestly one of the best boxes I have pulled personally. Not that I've pulled a lot, but only to be beaten by this one because it had the Starlight. But these 3 were cash money grabs, cash tier, cash money. But I'm so happy, yeah. Overall, what a surprise that I was able to get really supportive sponsors to sponsor those pack openings, and of course the tournament winnings, grabbing the cash tier. So thank you guys for tuning in. It's made my journey very, very worth it, and I hope to bring more YuGiOh content alongside my mobile gaming stuff. So those are my 3 boxes. Of course, I wanted to show off the last pile, which is the engine that I'm going to add to my branded deck, which is the Branded Beast, Branded Regain, 2 of the Jura Swarm, 3 of the Saronia, but I'm probably going to add only 1 copy if at all. But of course, the most important one, 3 of Magnamut. So very happy with everything I've gained out of those 3 boxes. And yeah, of course, this pile will be dedicated. I think this is about 100 or so in terms of prize money that I will be able to sponsor or support for you guys. So stay tuned for that. I'll have more information in the later parts of this video. So thank you guys, and thanks again YuGiOh and Chaos Cards for sponsoring this video. You can use my link in the description to get 5% off. So, with the finale of YuGiOh Zero to Hero Season 1, I think it's time to take my YuGiOh journey to the next level. As you know, I have won the locals in the YuGiOh Zero to Hero Season 1. For Season 2, I'm going to set my goal as topping a regional. And to achieve that, I've solicited the advice and help of some of the more famous and competitive players in the YuGiOh scene. And of course, starting out with our most current and recent YCS champion, Joashua Schmidt. I've had the fortunate opportunity to go through a bit of the fundamentals and the basics of the game with Joashua, and also he will be helping me building a deck post Darkwing Blast release. So with that said, I have recorded a few of the important, I think, clips in the video, or rather in our session, to go over, because I think these advice would be applicable to everyone, and most importantly, I feel those are the ones that were the most impactful for me to change my mindset from the perspective of a more competitive player. So let's take a look.
Right off the bat, there's nothing in your deck that I think is obviously incorrect, which is a good thing, except for maybe I don't think I would ever go with 2 Alibers.
Okay. So
What
always
was
3.
your reasoning? Was the third Aliber part of the deck when you had like 40-ish, like over 40 cards?
Well, the first reasoning is I only ordered 2 Alibers as singles. And then I ordered the third Aliber, but it didn't come in time. It should be on its way now, so I should get it. But I originally thought Aliber at 2 because I was cutting it down to 40, and it was my decision points between 3 Albas or 3 Aliber. Because Aliber, you can get it via Tragedy, you can get it via branded opening, and the Allure is much better at banishing Tragedy and the other stuff. So I felt like 2 Aliber, if I run 3 and open with 2, it feels really bad. So for the other stuff, I didn't know what to cut. It was between either 2 opening 3 Aliber or 2 Aliber 3 opening, and I think at that point I made the 2 Aliber 3 opening decision.
Okay, I think Aliber is part of those cards where you always want to be on 3 in the pure Despia decks, simply because it is part of the cards that get you to Branded Fusion, basically unconditionally, right? That's the difference between like an Allure with Tragedy can get you to Aliber, that can get you to Branded Fusion, but that's a 2-card combination rather than a 1-card combination. I think it's very good in a deck that relies so heavily around Branded Fusion to have all the cards that just say I am Branded Fusion in your opening hand. I think you should have them maxed out. Okay. The reasoning of drawing, like, basically any card being a 3 of that you'll be like, oh, if I draw 2 of them, it feels really bad, I think is, once again, not always, but most of the time, that's not the correct reasoning. I very often see people playing 2 of some card, saying that if they open 2, then it feels bad, but that is, nowadays, almost every single card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is once per turn. Or like a lot of the cards that they print are once per turn. And with that reasoning, you would have to play almost every card as a 2 of. Like Branded Fusion, drawing 2 Branded Fusion in the first instance is the same as drawing 2 Alibers in a way, because it also is, one of them is dead in that spot. Same with opening. I think that risk is something you will usually just take in order to have maximum consistency, because statistically, the chance to draw 2 of one specific card is very, very low, as opposed to you're basically increasing your chance of seeing 1 Aluber in your hand way more than you're increasing the chance of seeing 2 by adding the 3rd.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I think that's the most appropriate way, like, to look at it statistically with these cards. And understanding how to playtest and what our current meta calls is, I guess that's more important, is like properly playtesting, because that is something you can do yourself. That is something that even like just from the beginning, playing as much as you can is the most important thing, I feel like. And also properly, once again, evaluating. I think that's the biggest issue that people have, is that Yu-Gi-Oh is a game that's like, or like card games in general are people tend to be very, very results oriented. Where they go, it goes to something as simple as like, oh, I lost this game or I won this game. I must have played better than my opponent, or my opponent must have played better than I have. Whereas it's most of the time, or like very often, the game can come down to certain things like how was the matchup, how was the cards drawn. You know, some games do come down to luck. Some games do come down to mistakes. Sometimes we make mistakes and we still win. Sometimes our opponents make mistakes, but they end up winning. And properly evaluating each and every single game is very, very hard, but it's very, very crucial to the right mental when trying to improve at the game.
And with that, the season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero to Hero has come to its conclusion. I just want to thank every single one of you for your support in the comments and for joining me throughout this journey. I really enjoyed it. Playing the physical cards is like a childhood dream come true. And special shout out to Monica, Silent, Paradox, Jarbo for playtesting and showing up to the tournament, and of course Martin, the store owner from Waffles, for hosting the remote tournament that we had, and also Hero for sponsoring the Darkwing Blast Box, and of course chaoscard.co.uk. But I'll see you guys in season 2, and this time our goal is to top a regional. So stay tuned and see you guys next time.